We are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this in the world. And welcome to a very special early edition of the Bi-Conic Review of Honor, or BRO for short. Yes, if you have been a long time follower of BC WrestlePod, you know that once upon a time we had a weekly Ring of Honor show where we reviewed Ring of Honor. But then at the end of last year, we decided to kind of put it back on the shelf, so to speak, because we weren't feeling how Ring of Honor was getting and the weekly shows and all that were kind of taking a hit, unfortunately. But I figured, hey, you know what? With the first pay per view of 2025 for Ring of Honor coming to us, I figured why not dust off the bro to bring it back for just the pay per views? And here we are. So I'm here this morning, well, this morning at the time of this recording, to bring you a full length review of Ring of Honor's Supercard of Honor, which took place on Friday, July 11th from Arlington, Texas. So this is leading into what's about to happen later today, which is AEW's All in Texas, which we'll talk a little bit about that a little bit. But before I dive into my review, I should introduce myself. My name is Mikey, and I will be guiding you through a bite-sized Supercard of Honor review. So I'm excited. This was a really fun show. It's a jam-packed weekend. We got a lot to cover, so I'm not going to waste too much time. But if you are new here to BC WrestlePod, thank you so much for finding us, whether it was on your own, through the algorithm, or through a friend. We thank you for your love and support. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Twitch and Kick. But if you can't commit to watching full-length reviews, following us at our social medias at BC WrestlePod everywhere is going to be amazing and fantastic, because you could still keep up to date through our clips that summarize the important talking points, as well as report cards we do for the weekly shows and the pay-per-views and special events like that. We also have some merchandise available at bcwrestlepod /fourthwall.com. So you can find us there. We have so much fun stuff. Our summer collection, our pride collection, our collection, that is anti-fascism, which is fantastic in these crazy times. So yeah, but without further ado, let's just jump straight to it. So my overall thoughts about Supercard of Honor, and I say this all the time because the in-ring action is always good. I wish that Tony Khan would tell long-term stories and treat Ring of Honor like a weekly TV show instead of, tapings that they do at Dynamite and Collision to, have the program. But hey, you know what? Until I see some change, I don't think we're going to be reviewing Ring of Honor on a weekly basis. But again, I love it, and the pay-per-views are always really good. I just wish the weekly shows sometimes would be the same. But without further ado, let's just jump straight into everything. I'm going to briefly go through 0 Hour. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. So we have 4 matches on 0 Hour. The first one was all vanilla Blake Christian versus Jay Lethal. I really love that Blake Christian is getting a lot of time, both on AEW television and Ring of Honor television. I'm really hoping that Tony Khan continues to push Blake, because I think he's a fantastic talent and I believe he deserves a lot more than what he's being given. But that's just my personal opinion. As far as this match went, I thought this was a pretty solid match. Jay Lethal is very reliable as a veteran of the industry and a longtime Ring of Honor proponent. Blake Christian does end up picking up the win over Jay Lethal here. Very fun 0 Hour match. On 0 Hour, we also got the Frat House, so Preston Vance, Griff Garrison, and Mr. Cole over here, taking on the Dark Order of Johnny Hungy himself, John Silver, Evil Uno, and Alex Reynolds. This was a lot of fun. Dare I say, I think this is the best the Von Erichs have looked, at least these boys have, since being a part of Ring of Honor. So I really enjoyed this. The Von Erichs would pick up the win over the Premier Athletes. This was a lot of fun to watch. Now let's get into the main card. So we open things up with this match right here. Tony Khan, the fact that you just casually dropped this banger as an opener. When I saw this on the social medias talking about how this was going to be a match happening at Supercard of Honor, I'm like, Tonith Khan, Antonio, you can't just casually drop this on me, because I lost my mind. I was so excited. But opening up Supercard of Honor was Echiseto versus Michael Oku, Now We Play. This match was a bop. This is one of my top 3 matches of the entire night. I mean, you get Echiseto represent CMLL, very good lucha libre artist himself, high flying, but also very technical, which is very nice to see. And of course, Michael Oku, what I call a diamond in the rough, representing strongly for British strong style, British strong wrestling and Rev Pro UK. This match was awesome. The fact that Echiseto caught Michael Oku from a moonsault and put him into an armbar was a thing of beauty. Something tells me that Michael Oku is going to be in this casino gauntlet match coming up today at Y'all in Texas. This was a really good back and forth match. Michael Oku deserves to get more eyes on him, but Echiseto does pick up the victory here, which would make a lot of sense given the fact of what happens after our main event. But this was a really fun way to start the card. And this was probably my favorite, one of my top 3 matches of the evening. From here, we get our 50K 4-way match in which the winner will receive $50,000. And this saw the participants of Atlantis Jr. representing CMLL, ROH's own Big Shouty Lee Johnson, Adam Priest, who has been doing the rounds in GCW at currently, and of course, homie to our channel, Mr. AR Fox. We love AR Fox. He's a friend to the channel. We love seeing him get more screen time and TV time. This was a fun match. This was less of, a wrestling match, and this is more of a spot fest, but this, I don't care. I love me a good spot fest. Adam Priest looking good, kind of letting everybody else shine, everybody getting their hits in. AR Fox walks away $50,000 richer because he ends up winning this match. AR Fox, we love you. You are fantastic. I have nothing else to say about this one. This was a good match for sure. We get into our first championship match of the evening next, which was for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, which saw Tiger Style Lee Moriarty taking on the legend of Lucha Libre, one of the legends of Lucha Libre himself, in Blue Panther. So this match stems from Global Wars Mexico for Ring of Honor when they were in Arena Mexico a couple weeks ago for Grand Slam Mexico. And Blue Panther was able to beat Lee Moriarty in a non-title match by making him submit and tap, which would cause Shane Taylor Promotions to beat up Blue Panther. And then we saw the return of Bryan Danielson to help out the legend. I love me some Blue Panther with all my little heart. He is one of the legends of Lucha Libre. The crowd loved him. The crowd loved Lee Moriarty. Was I expecting like a 5-star masterclass? No, because given skill and age differences here. But this was a fantastic bout. I love this. We got it. We slowed it down a little bit. Ultimately, Lee Moriarty would be able to make Blue Panther submit and tap out. Lee Moriarty is still your Ring of Honor Pure Champion. It's important to note here, though, because I want to give props to Lee Moriarty with this one. Lee is now the longest reigning Ring of Honor Pure Champion, and his title reign has done so much, being able to have amazing matches with good technical wrestlers, taking this around the globe to Australia, Mexico, and to be able to fight legends within those fields of wrestling. Lee is doing a fantastic job as pure champion, and I love this for him. I also really loved, the respect that Lucha Libre brings, because after the match, Blue Panther took the title from Lee, put it around him, made sure he got the ovation from the 4 sides of the ring before leaving. Lee, you are awesome. Blue Panther, you are amazing as well. This was a really fun match. Slowed it down a little bit, but I loved every single moment of this one. So from here, we get into what I consider, as much as I love these guys, and even this was still pretty good, what was my P-break match. So we get the Sons of Texas defending the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships against the Infantry. So the Infantry faced off against Top Flight not too long ago to a #1 contenders match, and they beat Top Flight, which has granted them access to get into this match for the championships. I dug the superhero theme that we got with Sammy Guevara and Dustin here. Sammy channeling his inner Superman, Dustin channeling his inner Green Lantern. I love this so much. I already knew the Sons of Texas were going to retain their championships because, they're in Texas. Sammy and Dustin are beloved by but I have to say, and I have to give my props to Mr. Carly Bravo here and the captain, Sean Dean. The infantry have come such a long way and have gained such a fun fan in me, as well as the rest of the boys, being unorthodox when it comes to their upbringing and training in wrestling, but they have improved so much. Their arsenal has gotten so much better, and they're able to pull out more than what they started with when Ring of Honor was relaunched into what it is now, back not too long ago, 2 years ago. They gave it their all, but ultimately the Sons of Texas were able to retain. We had a little bit of a brawl afterwards where the infantry plus the rest of Shane Taylor Promotions were starting to beat up on the Sons of Texas, which then would have the Von Erichs come out to even the odds. And then it was from this little interaction that we were told that 0 hour for All in Texas later on to this morning, we are getting an 8-man tag team match, the Sons of Texas and the Von Erichs versus Shane Taylor Promotions. So I can't wait to see that. That's going to be a lot of fun for the fans who are there, fun for us watching at home. So congrats to the Sons of Texas for being able to retain their tag team championships. Next up, we get our Ring of Honor World Television Championship. This is our champ, Nick Wayne, taking on the challenger in Titan. This match also stems from Global Wars Mexico, as there was a proving ground match between Titan and Nick Wayne. For those of you who are new to a proving ground match in Ring of Honor is a standard match where if the challenger can either submit the champion, or can go the full 10 and survive the full 10 minutes of the proving ground match, they will earn a future championship match, which is a lot of craziness. So Titan was able to last the full 10 minutes down in Mexico, which had granted him this match here. So I want to start off by saying I thought this match was good. I really enjoyed it. Maybe it was just me, and for those of you who are watching live or who are going to be watching this later, maybe you can correct me, but I felt like Titan and Nick Wayne kind of slowed it down, and I know both of them can go more than that, especially for Nick, seeing him what he did in the Best of the Super Juniors, and Titan coming from CMLL. But even with that being said, I thought this was a really good match. Nick Wayne and Titan did amazing. Titan, I always pop for when he does his leg lock into a bridge, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But Mama Wayne tried to intervene. She got thrown out, and then Kip Sabian came in to help. Ultimately, numbers game was too much. Nick Wayne working on Titan's injury. Nick Wayne would ultimately make Titan tap to retain the Ring of Honor World TV Championship. We also, surprisingly enough, get the ROH TV debut of Christian Cage, who comes down to congratulate Nick Wayne and take all of the patriarchy back upstage. Again, I thought this was a pretty fun match. I wish both these boys didn't have to pull their punches as much. Maybe that was a choice because they still got more to do this weekend, but I still thoroughly enjoyed this match. From here, we get to find out earlier in the week that Red Velvet, our current Ring of Honor Women's World TV champ, is not medically cleared and is sidelined with injury, and she could not compete to defend her championship on this card. So Tony Khan made the decision to crown a interim champion, and when Red is cleared down the line, she would go ahead to fight. The winner of this match would go on to fight Red Velvet to kind of unify and become the undisputed ROH Women's World TV champion. So it was really unfortunate that Red couldn't compete. But as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh my God, these girls are this is about to be on and popping. So, of course, we have Miyu Yamashita versus Yuka Sakazaki versus CMLL's Persephone versus Mina Shirakawa. This was a really fun match. I do think there was a lot of start and stop, for this match, but I need Tony to figure out a way to have her do a residency or something, because every time she's on TV, she's good. Yuka is always fun. Persephone is a badass. Mina is entertaining. I feel like these were a really good combination of 4 women to be in this ring because they all bring something different. Mina Shirakawa ultimately is the winner and is your interim Ring of Honor World TV champion. And it was... how do I explain this in words? I really feel that this is a really fun way to get a title on Mina Shirakawa without kind of getting into the messiness of what's happening on the AEW roster. I kind of am bummed that Mina did not beat Mercedes for the TBS championship at Dynamite 300, but I think Mina versus Red. Red is clear to get back into the ring is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm so excited for that one. So congratulations to our new interim ROH Women's TV champ. Women's TV champ in Miss Mina Shirakawa. This was the second in my top 3 of the night for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. Athena, the forever champ, defending her title against Miss Thunder, 2 native Texas girls. This match was awesome. I think this is the best I've seen Thunder in terms of returning from injury, and she was awesome. Athena was awesome. I don't have a lot of notes on this because I was just enthralled, and I thought this was a really strong title defense. Athena, once again, retaining her championship. Like, I don't have enough words to describe how enjoyable I love this match. Thunder gave it the college effort. I'm very interested to see, though, however, who is going to end up dethroning Athena. Now, a friend of mine, mentioned this to me in messaging and all, that Athena will be reaching 1,000 days as champ exactly on the date that Death Before Dishonor in December is going to be in Philadelphia. So this has me thinking, I'm like, interesting. So that's going to be in September, which means we're going to go through the rest of summer, the rest of July, all of August, with Athena being champ. And I'm very interested to see in September what happens at Death Before Dishonor and what's going to go down with all of it. But congratulations to Athena for retaining her championship and Thunder Rosa for an awesome effort. Hopefully we'll see Thunder do something now. I want to see her continuing to be on TV screen, so hopefully we'll see what happens with that. Oh my gosh, you guys. Match of the night. Hands down, like, oh my God, this was almost a 30-minute bout for the Ring of Honor World Championship. This was Bandido taking on Konosuke Takeshita. These two right now are in my contention for my favorite wrestler of 2025, and we still got the whole year to go. But Bandido has had no misses within the last couple of weeks. And this man coming back from concussing himself at Final Battle and now being able to have this since winning the Ring of Honor World Championship from Chris Jericho. I love at Dynasty, like, oh my gosh, Bandito has been so much fun. Being able to wrestle in Arena Mexico, having a trilogy with Mystico, Takeshita, him fight. Like, Bandito has been great. Takeshita has also been having some bangers this year. Like, I don't know, man. These two don't hit. And oh my God, this is an easy 5-star match for me. Holy crap. First and foremost, I want to talk about Bandito's entrance gear. As a Latino myself, I cried tears because of how beautiful it was. And this match was hard hitting. It was snug. There was craziness going around. I kind of figured Bandito was going to retain, but damn it, did Takeshita make me think he was going to take this title with him to Japan, where he is about to compete in the G1 Climax. Oh my God, this was amazing. This match ruled. Bandito does retain, but what a hell of a main event. Easily in my top 3 of the night, and hands down my match of the card for Supercard of Honor. Like, oh my gosh. So this match ruled. And yeah, that was Supercard of Honor. My final thoughts on all of this, again, while I wish that the weekly shows had more storytelling elements into them, the pay-per-views are always solid and I always have a lot of fun. And I will say this, the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view we reviewed, which was Final Battle back in December, dare I say that this is probably a really good start. I just hope that Tony begins to book the weekly shows a little bit better. But hey, you know what? This was a really strong start for Ring of Honor's pay-per-view cycle in 2025. And I am looking forward to see what Death Before Dishonor brings us in September. So if you didn't have a lot of time to watch all the matches and you want to be like, hey Mikey, what are the 3 matches I should go out of my way to watch? Well, my 3 matches that I would go out of my way to definitely watch for this card would be Echiseto versus Michael Oku. I would also highly recommend the Thunder Rosa and Athena fight. And then, of course, my top match of the card that you definitely should give priority to is Bandito versus Konosuke Takeshita for the ROH Men's Championship. Well, that's going to be it for me here. It was kind of nice to dust off the bro review stuff, and it will be going back on the shelf until Death Before Dishonor, which I'm super excited about now. But we still got a whole jam-packed weekend ahead of us. So, in a matter of a few hours, I will be back along with some of my AEW crew and some friends of mine as we will be doing a live watch along for AEW's All in Texas. Man, I'm so excited about this. I feel like this is going to finish some stories we've been telling over the year and reset AEW into the new direction as we head into the next chapter for this company. So please come and tune in. We will be live at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So cannot wait for that. And then we're going to finish off this weekend with another watch along. This time, the WWE crew will be here and we will be doing a live watch along for WWE Evolution. TKO and Hunter may not have taken the time and cared enough to build up this pay-per-view, but we are going to do a live watch along because the women's talent on the WWE roster deserves it. So we got 7 matches. It's going to be a very interesting one. So that is going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, tomorrow night, Sunday, July 13th. Well, that's going to be it for me here. Again, thank you so much for tuning into this first edition of the Bi-Conic Review of Honor. The ROH paper review show will be back in September as I will be covering Death Before Dishonor over Labor Day weekend. So I'm excited about that. But from myself and the rest of the BC Wrestle Pod family, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay Bi-Conic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We will catch you later for our All in Texas review, but until then, love yourself, love thy neighbor and each other, and look out for each other in these troubling times. Until next time, this is Mikey for BC Wrestle Pod. Peace.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's going to happen next time? Well, you're going to have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.